Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to the eighth annual Connected Mobility Hub Climate Tech Investor event. This time we're doing it online because there's just too many events going on this quarter. I apologize for any noise that there might be in the background. I'm unfortunately stuck in an airport. They've just cancelled my flight, so I expected to be in an office in Barcelona at this time. And what I'll do just before I jump into the event itself, just explain very quickly what we're going to do. So we have 6 startups that are going to be pitching. Our ICE.io, Hive Power, Climate Trade, Full and Fast, CityQ, and V2C. And each of them have 5 minutes for pitches and 3, maybe 4 minutes, depending on how we go, for questions, either from myself, if nobody else asks questions, or from the audience. So please do feel free to ask questions through the chat while somebody's doing their pitch, and then it makes life easier for me and more interesting for everybody else, as well as obviously getting an answer to your question live through the event. So just before we jump into the pitches, I'd just like to quickly explain who we are and why we do this. So I've put Eoniq first, but that explains what my sort of background. So I'm managing partner at Eoniq, as well as one of the co-founders with Sergio of the Connected Mobility Hub. We're unfortunately, I took the Spanish version. I forgot this is an English event, and we're an early stage fund focused on Spanish-based founders. With a view to doing follow-up, basically, in a nutshell. These are the main areas that we invest in. But we are generalists. So smart mobility and logistics, obviously, given the theme of this particular event, makes sense. But generally, we're pretty much generalist, even though these are sort of preferred sectors. And what do we look for? Well, the classics, right? A macro tendency, the right moment. We need there to be an MVP, at least, because otherwise we don't have time to support the startup. We're looking for passionate, creative teams to make things happen. High scalability in terms of startup, and we want there to be a clear business plan towards the future in terms of when we're not interested in investing in bubbles. Sort of almost nobody now in the VC sector is investing in any type of bubble, but this is something we've had clear from day one. So in terms of the Connected Mobility Hub, this is a non-profit association that Sergio and I set up now, I think 9 years ago, so it's been going for quite a while. We initially focused entirely on connected mobility, hence the name, which then sort of became smart mobility as a term. And these days, we're more focused generally on sort of climate tech, the reason for that being that mobility as a whole has converted into sort of a tool of the energy transition, if not one of the main tools of the energy transition. Hence, this event includes smart mobility and climate tech startups. What we're interested in doing is basically supporting that ecosystem to help accelerate the transformation of that mobility paradigm, which is, as I'm saying, is now sort of converted into, partially at least, into a key part of the energy transition. How do we do this? Well, people obviously at the center. Innovation is key. Collaboration between the startups within the association, with cities, with corporate partners. Our central philosophy is that collaboration helps us improve and move faster, and obviously we're looking to change what's going on in terms of this change of the mobility paradigm. How do we do this? Well, through our ecosystem, through supporting cities and corporates through things such as this investor event, and generally sort of supporting the investment within the startups, and generally making things with a view to making things more sustainable as time goes on. This is basically the same information. We do work with a number of acceleration programs to help us in that respect. EDIH is obviously one of them, and we work with a large number of public administration and corporates in supporting them in terms of what to do, how to do, and who to do it with. With regards to this changing of the mobility paradigm, and as I say, the changing of the energy transition generally. This is obviously what we're doing here, and innovation projects, as we said, we do a number of them with a large number of corporates, and here are some of the bodies that we collaborate with. As we said, the Digital Innovation Hub, the European Digital Innovation Hub from Madrid, and obviously the City of Madrid, EIT Mobility, which is an important partner in Europe in supporting this sort of change of paradigm in mobility, and as a communication platform through the future of cities. Ecosystem, we've got 140 associated startups. Here you've got all the figures, so you can just press pause later on and you can see what we're doing. And then here's a large number of or a decent proportion of the startups we have in the association. Here's a decent proportion of the corporates that we have in the association, the investors, some of which are connected here right now, that have come to our events. As I say, this is the second time we did it online during COVID, and this is the first time we're doing it online since COVID. But next year we'll be back with a face-to-face event, and then a number of events that we help by providing content really with regards to smart mobility and climate tech innovation. And here's the team. So you've got Sergio and myself, but the two co-founders, and then we've got Angie and Andrea that are here in the background, and Luis that's connected somewhere in the audience at the moment. So that's basically it. I won't go into more with that, and we'll now jump into the pitch. And as I say, Sergio will start presenting first. I'll just put on some of these people who say good afternoon, very kind of you. Thank you, Angie. It's great to have everybody connected, and a couple of others that have done the same. Oh, sorry, Jose Luis, I put you on for a second, I took you off, and Christian. So hi guys, great to have you all connected. And Sergio, you're a master at this. You've already got your presentation going, which is absolutely fantastic. So I will add the presentation, and then I'll leave you to it, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. As I say, in terms of the audience, please do launch any questions that you have for Sergio and Arais on while Sergio is presenting, and I'll put them on screen later on when we're in the 3-4 minutes for Q&A. Okay, Sergio, so it's all yours.
Thanks, Tom.
Press the stopwatch now.
Can you hear me properly?
Perfectly.
Okay, thank you, Tom. So I'm Sergio Díaz, I'm the CEO of Arais.io. Okay, I had a little bit problem. So, well, everybody knows we are facing a big problem. Climate change is something that everybody knows today, and despite of the ambitious goals, the strong regulation and the investment, the impact is very low. So what we propose to accelerate this shift is to give wide access to knowledge. Basically, for us, knowledge is this valuable information, which arises from the combination of private and public data combined with our AI and algorithms to enable good decision making. That is something that is lacking today in the sector of sustainability in the cities. And we are in the best moment for doing this, as we have a very strong regulation that is being pushing Europe to a lot of cities, more than 5,000 cities in Europe, and this is accompanied by investment, good levels of investment and incentives. And at the same time, we have this data economy, all the regulation around this that is pushing to share data, private and public data. And we are focusing now in trying to deploy and to help the deployment of the big solutions in sustainable mobility. We are talking about mobility to work, active mobility, urban logistics, and electric mobility. For doing this, we deploy all our technology based in data spaces for sharing private data, as well as our connection to public data. And we do as well in a scalable mode. So we work with partners in order to scale a little bit more. Just an example, the mobility to work, our inputs are different: mobile network data, location data, private operators, surveys, etc. And with all this data and automatically in our platform, we can give answer to different needs that municipalities, cities, and companies they need in order to align to this new regulation, and it's an opportunity as well for the sustainable mobility operators. We don't do this from the technology; we do it from the problem, knowing deeply, all the problem, and we do this leading from the collaborative innovation ecosystem. We have the opportunity of being working with all our different stakeholders. So we are a trusted third party. We have access to knowledge, and we have access to data, as well as potential customers. So this helps us a lot in order to deploy all of this. The potential market is huge, around 830 billion. And starting with mobility, these are the sums and we have access very quickly. So now Arise is helping administration and companies to deploy faster and cheaper the regulation, to reduce investment and to save cost, pollution, and reach more customers. And we do this with a very a very easy business model. We have created this platform to sell in an information as a service model. For the administration, this is much more easier in a subscription and a pay-as-you-go model, and very linked to third partners to sell this in a B2B2B or B2B2G model. The first experience gives us a bit more of 50%. Our difference of our competitors is this capacity to sell knowledge as a service, much more away from data aggregation, visualization, prediction, or the big consultancy that they are very expensive. Our go-to-market strategy starts in the ecosystems where we got the first steps of confidence with our partners, and where we started to deploy the data ecosystem, and then we connect the information and service platform. This year we have 15 data deployment customers and 3 data IaaS customers for next year. And these projects will give us more or less these projections, where in 2025 we started to have these subscriptions and more repetitive incomes. The roadmap, last year we've been very focused in building the platform with 6 people, and this year we have started to do this market fit. Yeah, and it's a lot of noise there. I don't know if you understand. For 2025, starting our subscription and commercial data platform with 12 people, and increasing to 15 in 2026, where we will go for a second funding. No? The team is being consolidated. We are talking about a team of 20 years of experience, in average. And half is technical people, and the other is commercial and innovation, with a very good staff of advisors. What we are looking for is 300K. We have 50K committed with a convertible note, and we are looking for impact business angel and VC seed, pre-seed. We are always backed with public funding. We have an interesting phantom plan. So if you are interested, please contact me.
Thank you very much for that, Sergio. You went over time, but it sounds like I've got a lot of background noise going on. I took the quietest corner of the airport, and suddenly everybody else has wanted to join me. So if anybody has any questions from the audience, please feel free to put them in the chat. And one question that I had for you, if not Sergio, okay, somebody does have questions, so I'll put it on. Oh no. Okay, yeah, so they do have a question, so there you go. Can you see it? Can you see the question or not? So on screen.
On the screen, oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're building an electric transport as a service startup with swappable batteries. Can you give us test access to your platform so we can have data in Spain?
In this moment, I mean, with electric transport, with electric mobility, it's not the case that we are working on. This is something that we are going to do in 2026. Now we are very focused in mobility as a service, but the business model. So we can check it. Next year we will be focusing on logistics, and 2026 we are jumping to electric mobility. Maybe we have to understand your business case, and we can check it out. Maxim.
Okay, and then I just had one very quick question, which was regard to metrics. So you put 10 to 20% savings on CO2. Do you have any specifics that you can give in terms of case studies to date?
Yeah, we've been deploying this mobility to work case in a business park in Spain, and the potential of reduction is around like 28%. I mean, the potential is if you deploy all the mobility as a service that we recommend, carpooling, car sharing, the more responsive transportation and active mobility, we can reach 28% of reduction. Then we have to deploy and see what finally can get, but the real potential is there, no? Because we have studied what is the real potential, no, of each business part. So.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I'll say goodbye to you, Sergio, and take away your screen, and I'll bring on Joanna from Hive Power. Just 1 second, Joanna, if you could start sharing your screen.
Yes.
And brilliant. I can indeed. I've got it here. Okay. Well, I'll leave it. I'll leave you to it. I'll be back in 5 minutes. When you see me on screen, it's like a polite way of saying, "Okay, you've hit the 5 minutes." Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
All yours.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the invite to pitch. So my name is Johanna Izet, and I have the pleasure of talking to you today about the flexibility opportunities that are waiting to be unleashed for energy and e-mobility companies, thanks to demand response. So some of you may know the energy market today faces a critical challenge, which is the increasing volatility in intraday energy prices. And this stems from growing share of renewables like solar and wind, which are intermittent and flood the market when available, driving prices down, even into the negative. And so businesses need effective solutions to navigate these price swings. We also face a rising risk of power outages, as the energy grid becomes more complex and it's more difficult to balance supply and demand. But this challenge, of course, brings opportunity. By time shifting consumption to align with cheaper, greener energy, like charging an EV during peak solar output, for example, in the afternoon, we can reduce costs, prevent outages, and avoid costly grid upgrades. So power grids need flexibility, especially with all more EVs hitting the road, and the grid needs dynamic solutions that can react in real time. So that's where we step in with our B2B2C software as a service, Flexo, which stands for Flexibility Orchestrator, and we enable automated smart charging at the best time, at the best price, providing a seamless user experience. So we leave end user comfort and needs absolutely untouched. Now we have white label apps, a web version for asset managers like fleet managers, and a mobile version for end users like you and I, which you can see here on the right. And some of our customers do have their own apps. In that case, we plug into the backend by providing fully automated algorithms performing optimal control of the assets. And we stack the value of multiple use cases to extract the most value possible from flexibility orchestration. So we don't have time to go into many details with 5 minutes, but that happens thanks to our AI and machine learning algorithm engine, which analyzes a wide array of data points. So we sit as an intelligence layer that connects to our customer's IoT layer and via API to gain access to those assets on the field, like EVs and charging stations you can see below. Also, the value can be multiplied with solar panel and stationary batteries. So we act as a technical aggregator to access those business opportunities you see above. So price arbitrage on the energy market and grid balancing services is a totally new revenue stream that can be unleashed. And so the way we differentiate from our competitors is the fact that we do optimize a wide range of flexible assets, which then multiply the power of that value stacking that we do. And what does that mean for end users? So we let our customers choose the business model that they implement. So it might be as a value-added service to improve customer experience. Some cases, our customers give cashbacks or a percentage of the revenues earned to reward those drivers for their flexibility. And lastly, just the value is up to €1,000 annually for passenger EVs and up to 13,000 annually for heavy-duty EVs. And so we do believe that some of our customers can also offer free charging to their customers, which is a powerful marketing tool, reducing the total cost of ownership, things we hear a lot about these days. So our business model is quite simple. We tend to start with a pilot project and then convert into a SaaS contract. We have a fixed annual platform fee and a variable component, which grows based on the number of assets we optimize. Here you can see some of our customers and partners that we are trusted by today. Again, you can see there are both market leaders from energy and electric mobility industries, including OEMs that are working on, building their new energy business units. And so we are active in Switzerland, Italy, Spain, and shortly also Portugal. Just going to show you our financial production. So we're currently at 150,000 annual recurring revenue with a contract value, though, of €500,000. And so we do expect to arrive at 800,000 euros of ARR by the end of 2025. So we've fundraised 6 million euros up until now. We are currently closing a late seed round of 2 million, of which 1 million is already committed from a VC and Axpo, which is a leading Swiss energy player. They're actually heavily involved in one of our success stories in Switzerland. And this investment will involve a strategic partnership to access other markets that we plan to expand to. So that will be a strong driver for growth. We are also getting a Swiss government loan of 3 million with secure friendly financing, and this round will allow us to continue to drive that growth that we expect. So we have a diverse international team of data scientists, engineers, and professionals leveraging their expertise to build the company. Our team's deep industry experience is what sets us apart, as well as our quality of execution, and keeping battery health top of mind is obviously very, very important for OEMs and everyone. So we're now open to new investors that can be quite quick to commit for the current round. Otherwise, please reach out and we'd love to stay in touch. Thank you for listening. Love to answer any of your questions.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Really, really interesting. As Maxime was very impressed. There was one quick question, just for this one's for Sergio, just that he sees it. It's in the chat. So that's Sergio, if you could answer this then through the chat or directly to Jose Luis, that would be perfect. And Joanna, so the question take a while because there's always a bit of a time lag on these things. So I'm hoping somebody will make one in a second. But I was just wondering if you could give, again, going back to sort of metrics and specific use cases, if you could give us some idea of sort of metrics, either with the balancing that you've done in terms of the charging, or I don't know, some KPI that we should know that maybe wasn't mentioned in your presentation?
Yeah, so I mean, we say up to €1,000 per EV annually, like a passenger car, which is really the maximum depending on which market you're in, and also if you have renewables like solar on site and stationary batteries. But I'd like to bring you to a success story that's growing right now, and that's with AMAG. They're an exclusive dealer of Volkswagen vehicles in Switzerland. So they're a traditional dealer that has then diversified their business. They're also installing renewables, and they understood having a big EV fleet that they provide kind of car leasing only EVs, that they could use these EVs to provide grid balancing services. And so that's what we're actively doing right now, over hundreds of vehicles, and by the end of the year, thousands. And that value is currently roughly €300 per EV per year. And so that's just providing grid balancing services, not including the other potential that there is from other use cases that could be stacked on top of that. And so what we do there is we kind of stop the charging to provide the positive and negative flexibility to the grid when they need it. And with that project, we'll also be adding other asset optimization over the next couple of months. And that's just to give you an idea of a practical example of the value that our software is bringing.
Fantastic. I think that's incredibly useful. Okay, so no other questions have come in at the moment. It might come in a little bit later, as happened with Sergio. But what we'll do to keep the ball rolling, I'll jump onto Climate Trade now. And then if a question comes in, then you can just answer it directly through the chat or whatever. Thank you very much, Joanna. Incredible project. I think we need way more projects of this type to help with that grid balancing. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So Francisco, I will, if you could start sharing your screen, and I'll add it in.
Yes, it says processing. I thought here it is. Should be sharing it right now.
Got it here. Brilliant. Okay, I'll disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes time.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining, and thanks for inviting us to pitch here. Well, Climate Trade was born back in 2018 to bring a new type of marketplace to the carbon markets. We brought blockchain technology and the best user experience possible, like a normal marketplace, like an Amazon style. In fact, we were called the Amazon for climate by Business Insider. So to tackle a problem in the carbon markets, a market that today is 3 billion, but that is expected to grow up to 1.5 trillion in 2050, expecting 200 billion in 2030. So around the corner. Basically, traditionally, the carbon markets were manual, OTC, phone, email, like very traditional, which still are 90% OTC. So we brought the first platform to provide a possibility of digital purchase, one dashboard to control invoices, certificates, everything in one place, have the largest database of carbon credits in the world, so sustainability managers were going to be able to go and look for the projects, no belief on what the brokers were saying to them. And why is this important? Because every company has to report sustainability now in the biggest markets in the world. That means reporting what they are doing in decarbonization for their organizations. That's mandatory in the European Union, in the US, and other markets globally. That's the next step is what are you doing to reduce those emissions? And now there are other challenges, especially cargo shipping in the customs is called the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, and other decarbonization of product and supply chain. So for that, you need a tool, and we are targeting now the largest polluting sectors, which is oil and gas, travel and tourism, transportation and cargo shipping, and also the financial sector. For putting an example on the financial sector, this is moving. I don't know. This is alive. Sorry. So I don't know why it's doing this, the platform. But anyways, okay. So what we have is in the core is the marketplace. You can find it in market.climatetrade.com. And then we have attached to that an API. So we built the first carbon API in the world, awarded by the UNWTO, the tourism, and the marketplace awarded by the UN as the best solution for the carbon markets in 2018. Basically, the API plugs the marketplace to the registries, so we can bring the carbon credits directly to the marketplace, and we can retire in real time the carbon credits. That API also allows to fractionalize, or if it's maybe better understood, embed carbon in the processes. And I put you one example. One financial institution is funding let's say, a construction of a building. That building emits CO2 by the construction. 40% of the CO2 emitted by the building construction is going to be inputted to the bank. So the bank will need to include the carbon credits in the loan that is going to give to that borrower to build the building. So where the bank is going to bring the carbon credits from? We built an API that provides calculators, provides the carbon credits, and provides the certification to the borrower that loan allows them to have the building carbon neutral. And that's what is coming, and that's what in every single sector, imagine transportation or carbon neutral steel, carbon neutral cement, everything. So we have the tools to do it. At the same time, we have the Climate Pay solution, which is a carbon checkout solution for payments online and offline. Also, we are bringing the first AI account manager for the marketplace, and other great innovations as we have been doing since 2018 in the space, building some of the top disruptive innovations in the climate tech applied to carbon credits. So next thing in this round is to bring this AI live with some of the largest providers on this technology worldwide. We use blockchain, as I told you, to reduce costs, and our business model works B2B by selling carbon credits to the sectors I previously mentioned, and through our API, that's a SaaS model, to fractionalize carbon into the process and supply chain, and to bring those calculators, offsetting, and certification process. This is the B2B that I mentioned. We work with companies such as Santander, Telefónica, Cabify, pretty much all the stock exchange of Spain. There are three models that I don't think is relevant right now. These are some of the companies that we work with, and which the ones we have offset more than 6 million tons of CO2 to date. We operate in 35 countries, have more than 200 projects verified in the platform, more than 17 API integrations. Our leading team comes from more than 20 years experience in the carbon sector, and advisors such as Matt Puccini, who sold the API business to Amazon once Amazon killed the book category, is one of the top people in marketplaces and APIs in AI worldwide. And well, so far we raised 13 million plus the previous seed of 1 million, and we are raising 30 million Series A now to acquire a tokenization company, Climate Coin, and at the same time to build the AI and grow the company worldwide. That's keep building the product, keep building the marketing and the sales team worldwide. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Okay, as we've seen, indeed, I said this to Joanna. There was a quick question that came in rather late. The questions come in later than the pitches. So just while we're waiting to see if somebody sends in a question, Joanna, this one's for you. The ones on screen, if you could answer it to Jose Luis. If you could just talk us through sort of the financials. So in terms of current levels of invoicing growth.
Of course. Our best year has been a GMV of $23 million with a net revenue of 1.2 million. This year we expect around the same size. We enlarge margins, so we have margins from 20 to 35% margin in the B2B. So we expect this year to end up around 3 million net revenue.
Fantastic, and obviously as there is a marketplace element to this, What's the sort of the retention rates or the churn rates of customers using the platform? I mean, what sort of recurrence do you have on customers?
Great question. Sorry, I should explain that. We have 5,000 users today. Thousands of those are big corporations. So we have pretty much all the biggest corporations in the world are registered in Climate Trade because we were the first one. So at the end, everyone was testing. And of those 1,000, I mean, the churn that the recurrent customers we have is pretty much, we have very small churn because there are B2B corporations that find when they find the product, it fits for them in terms of finding the catalog they need for carbon credits. But still, as I mentioned, the market is still a lot OTC, so it's 90% OTC. So we are bringing a lot of customers to the marketplace to finalize the deal. So we need account managers. That's why also we are raising capital in order to grow some teams of account managing. And we are growing 40% year over year in the digital platform, like organic, but still we need the OTC to compete with the traditional brokers, right? In terms of like teaching and evangelizing the customers on that. So the churn is very small. We need to grow the organic transactions in the marketplace.
Okay, fantastic.
Also,
all right, well,
also,
I haven't... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, one last thing is that one part of the investment is also to create a vehicle to have a skin in the game in the project, some of the projects that we work with. So we have developed a large expertise on which type of credits are the most demanded by the large corporations. So there is a problem of funding sometimes for some people with projects in the market. So we are building one vehicle to support those projects that then later we sell.
Okay, that's very interesting because obviously it gives you probably larger margins and obviously a better competitive positioning overall, right? Because you can
exactly
resolve the 360 degree of the problem. Okay, fantastic. All right, well, I haven't seen a question come in, so if it does, stay alert
for sure
for the next couple of minutes, and I'll put it on screen if it does.
Thank you, Don.
And I'll bring on, you're welcome, and I'll bring on Borja from Full and Fast. So let me just get rid of Francisco, Borja, and you're already sharing. Thank you very much. That makes it much easier for me. And I will disappear off, Borja, and I'll be back in 5 minutes' time, okay?
Okay.
Good luck. All right, see ya.
So today, generators work by burning gasoline to produce electricity, and Full and Fast, we have developed a patent technology to supply sustainable and cheap energy when there are no sockets. The future of service companies lies in electrification, and this must be done in a sustainable way. But the electrical grid has a problem. You need cable, and that means that you may have some delays, you have some at high cost, and of course you don't have any flexibility. And this is where Full and Fast was born. We offer a rental and sale service for portable storage equipment, batteries, cheaper, cleaner, and quiet solution to the DC generators. And to do this, we have our own patent storage technology and optimization algorithms that allow us to offer savings up to 80% to our clients in electricity bills. Being our natural clients, construction companies, event organizers and suppliers, distributors and marketers of electric energy, and fleets of electric vehicles. And this is where we stand, and where is the power for recharging these electric vehicles, where the scalability of the project lies. Fleets clients such as our client Liquid or On Time, who charge regularly and at high power to meet the route and operation, and that are willing to have a really high and low cost recharge. And to do this, we have two verticals. We have power converters that are integrated into portable and batteries accumulating equipments, and then we have our own IMS with cloud algorithms that we've been developing since 2021. Compared to the alternatives that you may find in the market, we offer more power, use life and versatility in the same weight and size as current commercial converters, and those companies that have their own technology solution. All this in a market that with an annual growth of around 8%, and that are just in Spain sells around 700 units per day. We offer the sale and rental of our equipment. We bring the financing to our client, and we include, in addition to the equipment, the service and monitoring part to optimize and guarantee the service, to optimize and guarantee the correct operation of the equipment in 3 lines. We sell our equipment directly or by prescribing a rental like we have with the Santander. We rent our equipment directly to the end customer or to service company through our investment vehicle. And now we are working on selling the kilowatt of hour of energy thanks to a PPA with an agreement with a generator that allow us to finance the infrastructure in addition to the cost of energy. The 3 funders, we've got more than 40 years of experience. We have more than 40 years of experience on in electric mobility and energy. And now we have a team with extensive experience in big data and optimization algorithms. Last year, we launched our service rental, investing 1,500 euros in advertisement to obtain 39 proposals, on which we were only able to convert the third part due to the lack of equipment, billing 70,000 euros with an average of billing per team of 500 euros per day and a gross margin of 80%. In addition, we bill a total of 270,000 euros, 270,000 euros, with a gross margin of 21% in total, thanks to the cloud management and optimization algorithms that I mentioned before, closing the 2023 with a positive EBITDA. This year, we are already in 500K in revenue with a target of 800K with budget launched for a total amount of 4 million. And we are looking for 1 million with a pre-money evaluation of 4 to reinforce the sales team and operating costs that allow us to meet all that demand that we have validated and that currently we are not able to cover. Thank you very much.
Brilliant and well timed as well.
Yeah,
well,
listen, I know. Tom, I was worried about the 3 minutes. I was trying to.
You did it brilliantly. So, given that you went slightly faster even than we expected, if you'd like, if there's anything that you'd like to add while we're waiting for people to come online, please feel free to.
Yeah, sure.
One thing that wasn't okay, I'll leave you to do that, and then I'll
go ahead because
I'll leave you to jump into what you want to do, what you want to say, and then I'll make a quick question to you.
Okay, for me, the main part is the business model that we've been validating. So we offer that sale and rental of our equipment. We bring the financier to our client, and we also include the equipment, the service and monitoring layer that really makes sense to all these service companies that are looking to electrify their fleet or operation. That we sell our equipment directly, we rent our equipment directly to the end customers or service companies through an investment vehicle that we are launching right now, and the third one, we sell a kilowatt hour of energy through a PPA into the agreement that we have with a generator that finance the infrastructure my client is demanding, in addition to the cost of the energy. For me, this is the main one to show.
Okay, fantastic. Then I've actually got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
One is related to competition. So there wasn't a competitive analysis slide that I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, where you've got this, because that's if you could just go into that a little bit, and then the second question, so that I don't forget it, is with regard to the mix, the split of invoicing. You talked about 500,000 invoicing to date this year, but you have a certain amount that's sale and a certain amount that's rental. So if you could give us an idea of what proportion of that invoicing is actually sale and what proportion of that is rental.
Okay. So regarding
So
regarding the competition and the competitors, when we started the business, there are a lot of energy storage solutions, but then mainly they were designing for home application, for non-industrial application. That's what we found out, and that's what we work to deploy and to develop a real good converter that could work with a high voltage battery, so you can rely on the type of use that you are going to do with these portable batteries. That's where we put all the money. That's where we raised 1.5 million euros, We patent the technology, just converter that I can work isolated or connected to the grid, that I can work in regulation services that are mainly, we apply all our knowledge plus the optimization algorithms to fleets because they have a lot of power demand. That means that they are going to struggle with the grid assets, and also they need to be recharged cheaply. Otherwise, they can electrify their fleets, and they've got a real high pressure from the regulation to commit those solutions and to achieve this kind of goals. And that's why we are electrifying routes and companies like Coca-Cola. And regarding the second one, the one that you mentioned, how we balance the total amount of turnover this year, I would say that most 150,000 euros are from rent and services, and the other one is linked to sales, where we add the service layer. That is key for clients.
Okay, I unfortunately I lost connection there, so I didn't hear the answer at all.
No.
but I won't ask you to go over the whole thing again.
Yeah, no problem. I was worried it was my connection, but it's okay. It's yours, so no problem. I was saying that so far this year, the 500 euros K that we have done in invoices, 150,000 are linked to rental services, and the rest are linked to sales, where we add the service layer that are for the private companies. It's key, no?
Perfect. Well, Roberto's just sent you in a message that you can see here on screen about resuming your conversation. So that's great. And I don't know if Francisco saw, actually, while I put that on screen, the two messages that came in for him. One obviously with the comparative price of CO2, and one that was just saying that congratulations, or hi. So okay, Borja, that was fantastic. Well, what I'll do is we've run out of the 3 minutes of questions thanks to my fantastic connection.
No problem.
So I will bring on screen Morten from CityQ. Thank you very much, Borja.
You're welcome.
I'll let you go, and I'll bring on, and I'll let your screen go too, and I'll bring on Morten. Morten, if you could start sharing your screen, then I'll put it live for everyone. Brilliant. Okay, I will disappear off, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Morten, it's all yours. Wait, I can't hear you yet. You're muted. Wait a second. Now you're unmuted. Oh no. If you can unmute, you're muted at the moment. I can't take off the mute.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. So, but it's coming up with the wrong part there when it says presenting. It doesn't give me the right presentation here because it doesn't show what I am on the screen. So I don't know which this one is.
Well, I'm sharing your screen. I can take that off. If you want to stop sharing and share again, and then select the correct one. It must be your computer that's sharing the screen, because I don't have that on my computer. No. Can you? I think you have to.
It doesn't come up. Yeah, but it's coming up with old part here. So sorry. Maybe you can try to.
If you stop sharing and start sharing again, and then choose the correct screen, I'm guessing. Nothing's changing here. It's still showing the same.
Yeah.
Well, should we?
Yeah, we can go with it, but this is super old. So CityQ is making the smallest four-wheeler vehicle in the world. It's a car-like vehicle like this you see here with DHL. So it's about 100 kilo EV, and it's about how can we actually change urban mobility. So replacing car traffic in inner cities and enabling big vehicles becoming small. So we're making this in a modular platform where we have a flat chassis and build different types of vehicle on top of this one. We're calling it downsizing cars and EVs into cargo bikes. It's registered as a bike, but it has a car feeling when you ride it. It's built with a modularity, so it's a IKEA kind of system where you can flat ship the part and build it locally. It's part of a market which is growing, according to McKinsey, a 100 billion market by 2030, where CityQ is being identified as one of the innovators and the pioneer in this market. And we are addressing this mainly in Europe, but we're also getting customer requests from US and Asia. We have a lot of pre-orders already at this stage. DHL, we have JCD Co. and Postal Services, 6 markets in Europe. It's unique compared to any type of cargo bikes or vehicle existing, as of being more reliable, more car-like, and then easier to maintain than anyone currently in the industry. And the only one that is approximately 100 kilo vehicle, which makes it super light, give 100 kilometer range with 2 swappable batteries, and then the car-like feeling of it. It's based upon a transactional model initially, with selling this for plus 10K each, but then reaching unit economics of rental and subscription later. We've been and quite experienced team in automotive industry, where people from top level in Daimler, Continental, and Siemens. We just reached Series A level, where we have investors from Asia taking 50% of the investment, raising 10 million euro with a pre-money valuation of 30 million, and lead investors taking 50% of that. We're now establishing then scale production in Europe and then in Asia for 25 and 26, and basically being sold out in what we can produce at this stage, doing 1 million euro this year and 10 million euro next year of production next year. About 50% is in letter of intents. So currently established with sales and after sales in Germany, France, Benelux, UK, and Scandinavia. Team mostly sitting in Germany, and Nuremberg being then the production R&D team. So that's quickly about where we are.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you for that. Just one very quick thing. This is for Angie. I've just sent her a WhatsApp, but I'm running out of battery, Angie, so I might just suddenly disconnect. If I do, please take over from me with the last startup. Okay, Morten, that's fantastic. So, in terms of the current production capacity, you said that you've basically sold everything you're capable of producing at the moment, and you're looking to grow that invoicing from 1 million to 10 million next year. Could you talk us through that a little bit, because obviously that's quite a large growth, and I guess there are some growing pains that will be involved in doing that.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you need to put up an after sales and production capacity, but when you're building vehicles, you have to be cautious when you do initially. So according to automotive standards, you do like pre-assembly versions, and we are at the latest stage at that part, and we go in D-sample mass production next year. So it's very much about making sure you have done all the qualifications before you go mass production. So that's what we're doing. So we have more customers than we can produce at this level. Next year, we're preparing that. So we have orders we've taken no to, and right now we're kind of waiting to get to the next level for that. So the raising of the funding is securing that you reach the maturity level. So, I mean, making hardware costs quite a lot more, making a vehicle costing much more than software. And we are just being extremely lean on getting to this mass production level. So right now, as I said, customers are waiting for us to be able to ramp up production. Top speed, I mean, this is an EN15194 electric bicycle, or electric assisted bicycle. So according to European regulation, max speed 25 km per hour in order to be regulated as such, and being allowed to bike lanes and free parking and not needing a driving license.
Okay, fantastic. And in terms of, I maybe you said it, but in terms of the volume of that can be carried, what's the, what does it compare with? I guess with a small van.
Yeah, so since it's registered as a cargo bike, but also as a passenger bike, for a cargo, it's about 170 to 200 kilo net cargo. For passengers, up to 3 people.
Okay, fantastic. We've got another question here. Are the vehicles charged?
Yeah. So it's swappable batteries, but it also could be plugged in by sockets. But 2 swappable batteries, 11 kilo each, give 100 kilometer range.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, I don't have any additional questions to that. It sounds great. I'm looking forward to seeing City Q cargo bikes all over the cities that I travel to. So congratulations, and I'll bring on Carlos here. Carlos, which is the last one. Carlos, if you could just share your screen, and then.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Yeah. So everybody else can.
Okay. So.
And there's your screen. Okay, so hopefully, if I haven't run out of battery, I'll be back in 5 minutes' time. If not, Angie, can you do the honors, please? Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Carlos, it's all yours.
Okay.
It's
Hello,
not full
everyone.
screen, by the way. It's not full screen. You're showing the PDF, the menu on the left-hand side.
On the menu, I don't know where is this.
I think on view, right? There should be.
I don't know where is the button. That shows that I'm a financial guy, that I'm not a technical guy.
I think on the right-hand side, you've got the 5 of 16, and then if you go down a little bit, that button, that one, and you can go model pantalla completa.
Here it is. So now.
There you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's perfect. Thank you so much. So
you're welcome. Okay, all yours.
Okay, so hello everyone. Thanks for having me. We are B2C, and this is our products. We are a company that was founded 9 years ago in 2015, and our focus is to produce EV chargers for electric vehicles. So we have our facilities in Valencia, and we produce everything in Valencia, and we have all the R&D development here. Our e-chargers that you can see on our screen, we have 4 products, and we are now launching a new product that is called Lenka. That is a supercharger that you can charge your car around 30 minutes to up to 1 hour. So everything is designed in Valencia, and we produce in Valencia too. We are a positive EBITDA company, and last year our turnover was around 10 million euros, and this year we expect to double this amount. We have everything in Valencia, but our focus is to be global. So that is the reason, because we have operations in Spain, Portugal, France, and Italy with our own teams. And at the same time, we have agreements with distributors in European countries like Norway, Romania, Ireland, Denmark. And at the same time, we have clients in North of Africa. The clients that we have typically are clients that are like Renault, BMW. We have an agreement with Renault in Spain. We have an agreement with Galp, Repsol, Mutua Madrileña, ALD. So this is big companies. And our focus is to be global and to launch more solutions. These solutions, we launch it. This is the best product that we have in the market, that is called Trident. Trident is a product that has technology, is produced in Spain, and at the same time is really competitive in price. At the same time, we have Trident Pro. It's like the Trident, but at the same time, you can add a SIM, so you have connectivity. And for the public street, we have Pole Pro, With this Pole Pro, we have in AENA, in Madrid and Barcelona airports, we have 800 Pole Pro installed there. And at the same time, we have a screen that it's a product that we typically install in shopping centers. Our goal, as I said, is to be global, but at the same time, not to be only a manufacturer, is to be an energy global company. So this is the reason, because we are connecting the house with the car. So we are launching more solutions in the software side as a software management system that can bring you when it's better to charge, when it's best to charge, when it's best to charge your battery, your car, or this type of solutions. And at the same time, we are making more solutions like the B2C installer panel, that is a panel for the installators. And this is the things that we are making. We are working in the e-charger side. We launched to the market 2 months ago Denka, that is 40 kilowatts. This is a new step for us, because typically our charges is in AC, that means that it's a slow charge. And now we are working in fast charge. And at the same time, we are working in other fields like batteries and the software side that can bring you the whole solution. We would like to bring to the world these new mobility solutions as a one, and bring only one solution for everyone. We are not raising funds. We in the past raised funds. We have clients and we have positive EBITDA. We don't have debt. So the only thing that we would like to share with you is if someone has the potential or the intention to have some business with us, we would like to invite you to our facilities or to make a video. So thank you so much.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much, Carlos. Well, I've got one of my star investees is a company. I don't know if you're working with them, Eva Global. They provide technical assistance to Wallbox, for example. So I imagine they could be an interesting partner for you. But just before we jump on to a couple of questions I've got for you, I'll put on 2 questions that arrived from Morten. I can see he's still in the back. In the back office here, sorry, backstage, better said. So one in terms of charging time and one in terms of the car-like feeling. And so Carlos, if you could just give us a bit of an idea. I guess if you're not raising funds, it's not that important. But if you give us a bit of a feeling of the sort of the mix between the sale, a bit like I asked Borja, the sale of the installations compared to the software side, because you've got some kind of subscription going on there, you've got some kind of recurring revenue going on, and what's the sort of the proportion of invoicing with recurring revenue, or what's the cost of the recurring revenue compared to the cost of the installation itself?
Yeah, we have typically when you have when you need to install a charger, you can be a company, or you can be a person that has a electric vehicle. So if you are a person that has an electric vehicle, you typically install with your installer our e-charger or other brands like Wallbox or Circuitor. And in this area, in this side, the thing that the client needs is to have a software that can bring everything in one solution. If you have solar panels, you have batteries, you have an electric vehicle, and you have an e-charger, the charger is the one that is managing everything, and you don't have to manage anything. You have this software that B2C brings you, and with AI, we can manage everything, and for you, it's easy. You don't have to do anything. When it's in the B2B side, typically there are 2 ways. One way is that you have the CPO that is gonna manage the e-chargers and is gonna sell the energy. So you are not going to do anything. You are the company. You have these chargers, but you are not going to manage. But if you want to manage, what you can do is to install our software that is called B2C payments. With B2C payments, if you take our e-charger and you install B2C payments, this person that needs to charge the car, when they went to the charger, you can sell the energy. That is really interesting, because otherwise you are going to manage the energy only for you, but in this way you can manage the energy for everyone. This is the way that we think that is gonna be the world, and in the mobility side, and we put it at TPV in the charger, so you can pay the energy through the charger.
And this, I imagine, is what Aena are doing at the airports, for example.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, listen, no questions have come in for at least for the moment. Keep an eye on the chat, because as you've seen, they come in a little bit late normally. And guys, thank you very much for connecting. Angie, I'm going to put you on screen a second. You probably don't want me to, but I will very quickly, just so that you're
hello.
So that everybody can see who's there in the backstage, helping that this happens well. And for those investors, I guess it's a lot of people are disconnected, but for those investors that are connected, we're going to send you a quick form. That if you'd like to fill it in, we'll send your information to other investors to support you in terms of co-investments and follow-on investments and all the rest of it. Carlos, thank you very much for your time. The rest of them have disconnected, so if they see this later on, we'll thank them. I thank them too. And for those that are connected, well, I guess because we've done this online, we might do another one sort of 3 to 6 months time, because we can. It's more difficult when it's face to face. And thank you everybody for staying connected for 1 hour and 6 minutes. All right, bye bye.
And thank you, Tom. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.